Hey everybody, George Connolly from Scratch Golf Tips. Today we're going to be talking about how you can pure your long irons. There I'm going to be giving 3 main tips that when you can put them all together, get a little bit of practice time in, you'll be flushing your long irons in no time. This is a huge part of your game that if you have your long irons intact, it can really help from, anywhere from a long par 5 to a bad shot on a par 4, but you can also tee off. So if you can hit these well on the ground, you can hit them well off a tee or anywhere else on the golf course. If you're not already subscribed to the SGT YouTube channel, we're posting 2 times a week, sometimes even more. So feel free to subscribe right now, and let's get right into the video. As I said earlier, I'm going to be going over 3 main things that will help you hit your long irons better. I've got a 3 iron that I'll be showing you all these demonstrations with. A lot of people don't even carry long irons. Some people go down to a 5 iron. Right now in my bag, I have all the way from 2 to 9 iron. I've got all my irons with the exception of a 1 iron, of course. But I'm going to be taking you down to the mat here, and let's go over step number 1. First, let's look at your setup that you should be taking with your long irons. So there are some similarities and some differences to what you would take with the driver. With the driver, the ball will be off the inside heel. You might want a little bit of your upper body weight back because you're swinging up on the ball. So a couple of differences. You want this ball with the long iron, around a 3 iron, to be a little bit inside of that. You still want it up in the stance. You also, similar to a driver, you don't want to be really close and over the ball. When you're over the ball, you can't go inside the ball because you're going to hit your back leg. So you're tempted to go out and over the ball, which will lead to a slice. Be a fair distance away from the ball. Have it a little bit inside of where your driver is. But one thing you don't want to do, and what a lot of people do, is they bring this upper body back, which will allow for them to swing up on the ball. With a long iron, you're going to hit the middle of the ball with the bottom of your club, and you're just going to thin the ball. That's the biggest miss. So you're going to want to keep your weight on your front foot slightly. You're not going to take a big divot like you would with a 9 iron. You're just going to kind of breeze through the ground, and then the ball will come off pretty naturally from there. The next thing I want to look at, and one of the biggest parts of hitting this club well, is your rhythm in the swing. Because long irons are so hard to hit, if you have some bad rhythm and you're too quick on your backswing or too quick in transition, then this club is going to point out that flaw and it's going to lead to a bad shot. The biggest part about hitting a long iron, in my opinion, is your tempo. Some people like to count in their head. They like to do a 1, 2, 3 count. Whatever count you want to do, whatever you want to think of in your mind to keep a nice and balanced takeaway and stay balanced and stay in that rhythm with the rest of your body through the swing, that's what you need to do in order to hit these clubs well. For some people, it helps to start with a shorter swing and just do a 1, 2. And then after you have those shorter swings down, you can go with the bigger swing like a 1, 2. But that rhythm has to not only be there for a swing, it needs to be there consistently. You're not going to get consistent ball flight if your rhythm is really slow and then quick, or if it's really quick and then you slow it down. You're just not going to have any consistency with these clubs. Now finally, at impact, I'd like to just reiterate a point that I briefly made earlier on. With these long irons, obviously, there's not as much loft, so you don't really want to be digging down into the ground after the ball. When you have a wedge, you want to make a pretty hardy divot. And I mean, that ball, your club will probably continue to go in the ground a couple inches past the ball. I've used the term bruising the ground in my 3-wood video. I'll link that in the top of your screen right now if you want to watch the 3-wood video. But you're doing a similar thing with this club. You should be getting the ball right in the sweet spot of the club face, as always. And then you should just be sweeping down. You shouldn't be digging down, because when you dig down often with these clubs, you may open up the club face, and we all know what that leads to, that slice away from the ball. Stay very neutral and just sweep down across the ball. So just to reiterate some of the points that I just gave, number 1, in your setup, have it pretty similar to the driver. You want it a little bit inside of where a driver is. Big difference, you don't want your body to be back. You want You don't want to be crazy forward, you just want a nice pretty neutral stance, have your weight a little bit on that front foot, and also you don't want to be too close to the ball because that'll lead to you going over the top. You want to be a decent distance away where you can swing in to out pretty freely. Second tip, and one of the biggest, is your rhythm. Try and find a good rhythm, get a cadence. If you need to count in your mind, do so just to swing freely through the ball and have a consistent rhythm throughout all your swings with your long irons. And finally, you're not taking a crazy big divot with your long irons. You should just be bruising the grass right after the ball. These clubs do take a lot of practice and they're not easy to hit at first, but once you can get into a rhythm with these, they're really, really crucial to your long game. And also maybe you have some tight par fours, some par fours where you really need to be hitting the fairway. If you can hit a 3-iron, maybe a 2-iron, even a 4-iron, a lot of those clubs can go over 200 yards for you. It's a great way to have a safe ball that can get on the fairway and give you a good look into the hole. Thank you very much for watching. On the left side of your screen, you should see a button to subscribe to the Scratch Golf Tips YouTube channel. On the right side, there is a video that YouTube has recommended that you watch. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I appreciate it very much. Play well and take care.